laugh for someone who's supposed to be invisible. Being born with the uterus somehow justified being belittled all my life. She's a fan. That bitch can't read, comprehend, or write. She can chef something good and suck like a vacuum. You better make her a wife. See, that's where you're wrong. I promise I can do whatever you can. On Jeremy Scott's chefing on pot, scholar since birth, and I've been grinding for mine ever since I can remember being parentless. I was trained to lift tons, and if you got me fucked up, and if you think I'm anything less, you got me fucked up.
Just apologize for the intro.
I just have one question. What were you nervous about? And I didn't think you were angry. I thought you were justified.
That's right.
This next guy, let me make sure I have the right guy. Alright, good. No other clogs in here? There's only one? Thank you. This next guy, he's the reason why Trent has bought his wonderful sound equipment. He also takes care of the sound at church and makes sure everything sounds as crisp as it does today. And he's a poet on top of all of that. So let's hear it for Carr.
Evening, everybody. It's kind of funny. Actually, sometimes I get inspired by TV, even though they say it's supposed to make you dumber. Small world, right? Brother, oh brother, I see we will not win. Our history will see our good deeds written away by the victor's pen. What will we become in this better world, where wars cost our lost limbs and children's laughter? My coat is heavy from the weight of hating my fellow man, the blood of lost comrades, and the stories it keeps of times I wish I didn't know to remember. Didn't have to remember. I don't wish to know either. Honestly, did anyone really even win? Still, we must be our own path to victory. Our actions shine light for those to come. Our bodies will serve as stones to pave the way. Our fight will paint the stones red with the blood that we have shed. But still, even though we may cease, brother, we will win. Thank you.
And he walks away with a baby in his hand. So cute. Up next is someone who was going to be here earlier, but got back a little late, so we're turning him the program now. John the Apprentice.
Really, it wasn't my fault. I took the 4 train at the first stop. And once I got to 42nd Street, it said, we'll be making all local stops. I was like, damn. So
We got you here right now.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So I'm going to do this first piece called Constant. I heard that a home is where the heart is. But when the kid roams the more homes in the Rolling Stone, it becomes hard to put your heart in anything that isn't constant. See, for me, a home was never a constant. Every 2 years, I moved to a different apartment, so till this day, tonight, on this stage, I can only remember where I lived by the grade I was in. See, I packed my bags like I packed my lunches, and that was constant. It wasn't until I found truth, hidden in the canal of my wisdom tooth, that I learned being pulled from your environment is much easier when you haven't taken the root. So after the 5th grade, I no longer made friends. Like a turtle, I found shelter and protection in the shell of my skin, because you become vulnerable to your surroundings when you're not grounded within. I found comfort in the uncomfortable silence of men. Unable to read my thoughts, they thought me heartless. But those who thought that were those who were in constancy. I'm like an EKG. You have to be attached to me long enough to get a clear read, or you might misinterpret my waves, my dips, my spikes. Mood swings can last for days. See, growing up fights were constant. Because no matter how many times things change, how to throw a punch always remain the same, and I just wanted something, anything to be constant. Relationships were never constant. So it asked, is it better to have loved than lost? Or not to have loved at all? It's only a reflex when I respond. Everyone I've loved, I've lost. My grandmothers are gone. Girlfriends have moved on. But if I didn't love it all, I would have missed the love we shared. And it's not that I'm scared. But when you constantly love and lose, you become just a little apprehensive when love appears. And it's not just romantically. It's also with the platonic love of fear. So what you might interpret as standoffish or distant is just a God dealing with his fears. And it's not so much the fear of rejection as it is the pain and the disconnection. See, I see through a glass darkly. So when companionship is presented, I see abandonment as its reflection. The longer I live, the more I'm learning life lessons. It took 32 years to understand that love isn't an offering of affections, but it's the sacrifice to commit in spite of imperfections. It's the promise to be constant. And in a world that's constantly changing, all anybody wants is for love, to love them constant. Taught the importance of being constant through the inconsistencies of men. I learned that the power of words isn't in their delivery, but it's in the actions that follow them. So I follow him whose word became flesh, the express image of him who died is now alive, whose spirit now resides within him, who's been constant, him who is constant. They ask me why I constantly speak of him. It's because he will forever be constant, forever be faithful, impartial, and immutable. And the fact that he's been constant in my life is irrefutable. He told me that the pen was my sword, and I would need it to face my fears, that I am a weeping prophet, the words written on my tears, that there was a method to the madness. I was being processed and prepared. All things were working together for my good, despite how they may appear. My transitions prevented me from being defined by the opinions of circles, or confined to the potential of squares. They also kept me out of Bermuda triangles where relationships disappeared. He emphasized the importance of being constantly rooted because of the fruit I had to bear, giving the breath of life to speak life into the air. See, I'm a thermostat, not a thermometer. I was created to change the atmosphere. I've heard that a home is where the heart is. But when the kid roams the more homes in the Rolling Stone, it becomes hard to put your heart in anything that isn't constant. And for me, a home was never a constant. Every 2 years, I moved to a different apartment, so I wrote this correspondence as proof of address to the home my heart found in God, who is my only constant. Yeah, that's the team I roll with. You see that God belongs in my poetry. Yeah, I roll with them, True Voices TV. So somebody, they said it was like a social justice piece. So this piece is the closest. Y'all seen School Days? You remember School Days? Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne at the end screaming, "Wake up." So we about to do that, but I'm gonna need your help. So when I say wait, I'm gonna raise my hand. When I raise my hand, I need you to say up. But I need you to say it with the same zeal that Lawrence Fishburne was at the end. Like we got a plane to catch. You got to get up. You know what I'm saying? You need to go get this job. You got an interview. You need to wake up. Okay? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Tired for no reason. Men are just sleeping. Exhausted like a collapsed lung. I guess they're tired from breathing. Instead of having dreams, the visionary is dreaming. He's asleep at the wheel. With my generation as passengers, the head of household is speeding. This lack of sight is misleading. Following the blind seems to be bliss. Men have betrayed the presence of a woman with the kiss of ignorance. Substituted the warmth of her embrace for the chill of prison bars. My issue isn't the problem, but it's that we've accepted this as the way things are, coined in terms like survival of the fittest. And the good die young. Subconsciously, we are raising physically fit men, but weak-minded sons, too weak to exercise a thought through a pen, but strong enough to work out an emotion through a gun. See, men have become more proficient in the power of violence because they failed to find the strength in their tongues. Fight or flight. Instead of working things out, we'd rather run. What makes us think we can successfully build a future when we've left our present project undone? And why is it? The king of the jungle is not a jester in jails. Seized by the courts, you're lucky if you make bail. Have you analyzed your visits? A lot of the few hours a day, certain days are into the general public. Tell me, what's the difference between you and the panda bear exhibit? Because it looks like we're both going extinct. Distinct in our confinements, pandas are caged for their protection. On the other hand, we're incarcerated because we've withdrawn from the Department of Ed and enrolled in the Department of Corrections. And we wonder why they build more jails. Since going to school is out of style, they realize they can make a profit if they increase their sales. You see, recidivism is the new trend, and we've got to wake up and break the cycle, break the complacency of entitlement. Being a male doesn't make you a man. You're not a man unless there's character and integrity behind the title. Wake up, you sleepy giants. It's time you rose from your slumber. Put the alphabets back in your name and get rid of those numbers, my brothers. You need it at home. Get out of that pen with those pigs. Wake up, you prodigal prince. You're the son of a king. Your pops got you a robe, a pair of shoes, and a ring. Wake up, you caged bird. It's time you lift your voice and sing. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! My brothers, you gotta wake up. Wake up and open your eyes. You've been sleep long enough. We are dying. And for some, it's because we're not trying. Life is more than existing. It's more than surviving. Wake up, because you're a light. And it's time you let your light shine. You were made in God's image and likeness. You are a reflection of what's divine. He's detailed. He's made you significant despite your insignificance. If you embrace being different, you'll wake up to your magnificence. It's not spooky or a mystery. Check the footprints of men who awoke through history. It's a choice. You can be a dreamer or become your dream's epiphany. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! If it's alright, I'm gonna do one more and take my seat.
Yeah!
So this one is called Divine Reminders. And I wrote this one. Anybody in here love God? You got like love for God? But you ever been in a place where you had love for God, but you had like issue with the church? Yeah. So this is that poem. It's called Divine Reminders. The place that I've come to love is the place others have come to hate. Apologetics has taught me the importance of listening to their complaints. See, some of their accusations are legitimate. Favoritism is prevalent. God is an equal opportunity employer, but some of his supervisors have become just a little bit discriminate. Judging people by the sin they were saved from, as if the church isn't a hospital full of sin-sick souls being treated by the same physician, taking the same medication, the application of his blood. We're all patients being rehabilitated by his love, but how quickly we forget. I'm here to help you remember that the church is his body of which we are all members. It's not a social club. It's not a fashion show. The aisles are on the runways for you to strut and strike a pose. It's not a fraternity for the rich, famous, or status quo, because the only pledge to getting here was the sinner's prayers. Truth be told, things are getting ridiculous. People are delirious, misinterpreting scriptures that made Christianity mysterious. It's not the world God said would perish because of ignorance. It's the lack of knowledge in our own faith that's killing this question. Why do we find ways to point fingers when we should be extending arms? I've noticed that although we preach grace at times, we tend to administer law. See, ministers get so caught up in ministering, they forget to minister God, but ministry's chess, not checkers. And serving the king is every minister's job. And whether you see you as a pawn, queen, bishop, knight, or a rook, we're all fishes of men. Bait the king's got on the hook, but since most are hung up on looks, most will ignore what I have to say, especially since there's no title in front of my name. See, I'm not apostle, so-and-so, prophet, pastor, teacher, or evangelist. I'm just an apprentice, and I'm tired of the shenanigans. I'm tired of the games people are playing in his name. And since the pulpit has become the promised land, I'm gonna be a voice in the wilderness of the pews, crying out things need to change because things need to change. Ignorance can no longer reign. The truth won't just set you free, it'll make you free. If you're a slave bound in the name of liberty, we gladly accept these chains. I didn't find redemption in Shawshank, but you can call me Andy Dufresne. Slowly but surely, I dug my way out of my shame, crawled through my mess for my message. There's no stains that God can't clean. There's no heart that God can't fix. If he can harden the heart of a pharaoh, I gotta believe that he can soften the hearts of a witch. You see, life is the matrix and Jesus is the glitch. That's why battles ain't won by the strong nor races to the swift, while the prideful or a base and the humble he uplifts. It's not by power nor by might, but by his spirit that lives in us. I love church. But the question I have for some is this: is your purpose to build the people or to build a new edifice? Because you see, people beget people, but buildings don't beget buildings. And I've watched us hurt people's feelings, all in the name of giving. Now, I understand we got bills. And I know there's two sides to the story. But if those sides are linked or synced, we become spiritual pimps using Jesus as a link. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. Let God arise and his enemies be scattered. I cry loud and spare not wherever his people are gathered. This poem is a divine reminder to the preacher, to the parishioner, as well as the pastor. In the body of Christ, every joint supplies. Please remember, everybody matters. Woo.
John, you were worth the wait, my friend. That was great. So, you know, it's like 10:15 right now.
Yeah.
I have loved every minute of this, and I could stay here forever. Unfortunately, I gotta do things like sleep and eat. So I'm not rushing anybody. We still have quite a few people left to go. I only ask that you come up here, and if you poems, do one of them. But you know, just be conscious. I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance, even the people who are going to the end, to have a full room and to listen to them. All right. With that said, we got 3 members of our awesome worship team coming up here who are gonna bless us. So, Alexis, Allison, and JB.
We just made ourselves invisible. Underwater, slow, no play, science, come out with your skills. In the ocean
Alright, y'all. So Alexis and I decided to sing a song called I Find It Hard to Say, Rebel, by Lauryn Hill. Woo! You have to apologize, we made the decision very last minute, so we don't have it memorized. We have our cheat sheet up here. But we felt like it was really appropriate for us to sing this song, especially given a recent experience that we both shared, where we were honored enough to be a part of a delegation to go down to join the Dream Defenders in Tallahassee, Florida. Can Maria stand up and show off her Dream Defender t-shirt?
What's it say?
Together. Yes. So for those of y'all who don't know who the Dream Defenders are, you need to get on them and start following them. They are an organization of young people in Florida that coalesced right around the time of the murder of Trayvon Martin, but have since then grown to be a statewide organization of incredible young people that are organizing around a whole host of issues that they see connected to the Trayvon murders: racial profiling, school to prison pipeline, immigration reform. And when the Zimmerman verdict came to light, they decided that they would have the audacity to do something as simple and as bold and as brave as going and occupying the state capitol and sitting down and declaring that they were going to stay.
31 days.
31 days. And so we had an amazing opportunity to be able to join them for a few days. And so this song, we left kind of feeling on fire, feeling united with these young people in Florida and with other people from around the country that came to join. I'm ready to build a movement. So this song is a call for all of us to find it in ourselves, to be bold, to be brave, to rebel.
I find it hard to say that everything is alright. Don't look at me that way, like everything is alright.
'Cause my own eyes can see through all your false pretenses. But what you fail to see is all the consequences.
You think our lives are cheap and easy to be wasted as history repeats, so foul that you can taste it.
Too comfortable to face it. His life so incomplete, and nothing can replace it.
And while the people sleep, too comfortable to face it, Your lives are so incomplete, and nothing can replace it.
Against these laws of man, 'cause like the Bible says, His blood is on your hands.
And what I gotta say,
And what I gotta say
is rebel. While today is still today, choose well. And what I gotta say is rebel. It can't go down this way. Choose well.
well, choose well.
And while the people sleep, too comfortable to face it, your life's so incomplete, and nothing and no one can replace it. No, 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 no.
And what I gotta say,
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 and what I gotta say.
is rebel, 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 rebel,
Rebel,
rebel, rebel.
repent, the day is far to spend. Rebel, 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 rebel.
Wake up, 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 wake up and rebel.
We must enjoy in order to rebuild. Wake up, you might as well.
Oh, are you satisfied? Oh, are you satisfied?
Rebel, 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 rebel. Why don't you rebel? Rebel, 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 rebel.
I love that song. It's one of my favorite Lauryn Hill songs ever. You guys just killed it. So good. So up next, we have some feedback. Mike's too hot. It's hot. You see how red it is? It's like burning. Or you know, all week I've been thinking of corny jokes for the joke. This isn't a mistake. This happens. Well, alright, the next person is someone who went to my college, someone who I know was a big part of starting a great dance troupe over there. So I'd like to bring him up to the stage. Kai!
No, I've been given orders. Okay, you should be the one before it. Yeah. I don't know, I feel like you're listed because you're never ready. You're never gonna be ready. So I'm just gonna tell you that right now. You're never gonna be ready.
I'll be close to
Alright. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. It is actually really hot here. Okay. I'm a dancer by trade. I do write. I did write when I was in college. But work has been a little crazy, so my vocal skills are a little tonight. But dance is actually my first love. I started a company called In It For Life Productions, and our whole thing is about just having is and everything we had. So the song I'm going to do for you guys tonight does have a really powerful message. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I'll die. But as much as you can, try to listen to the words. It's a very powerful song.
Just moving silence, we marching through and we coolin' while we all the truth.
Today is the day. We sing it to the mountains till we break the chains of diversity. This is me, the discrimination, but I won't let it bring out the worst in me. Yeah. This time around, we won't let them tie us down, but we cannot be quiet now. They gotta hear the entire crowd say, we are, we are, we are. We are the truth. We are, we are, we are. We are the truth. We are, we are, we are. We are the truth. We are, we are, we are.
You working it like a champ.
Right.
Gotta get the
That was great.